Hi, this is Miss Lauren from the Lawrence Branch, and today we're going to take a look at new graphic novels that we have received at the library for kids of all ages, from beginning readers up to teens. First up are a few early reader graphic novels. These are great for beginning readers. Thunder and Cluck, written by Jill Esbaum, illustrated by Miles Thompson, great for ages 4 to 6. Two dinosaurs with larger-than-life personalities become unlikely friends in this silly and sweet Level 1 ready-to-read graphics book, the first in a new series. Ready-to-read graphics books give readers the perfect introduction to the graphic novel format with easy-to-follow panels, speech bubbles with accessible vocabulary, and sequential storytelling that is spot on for beginning readers. There's even a how-to guide for reading graphic novels at the beginning of each book. Next up is the Friendbot series, written and illustrated by Vicky Fang, great for ages 4 to 8. Meet the robots Blink and Block in this STEM-inspired story by debut author-illustrator Vicky Fang. Blink is scanning the playground for treasure, and Block is pretty sure there's no gold to be found. Will Blink prove that treasure does exist, or will these two new pals find something even better? And our last new easy reader book is called Kraken, written and illustrated by Jeffrey Ebler for ages 4 to 8. When Izzy brings her pet Kraken to the county fair, everyone thinks he is frightening. But he's like Izzy, sweet and shy, and Kraken and Izzy use creativity and humor to win over the crowd. Next up, we have our new juvenile graphic novels. These are great for elementary and early middle school kids who have progressed to chapter books. A number of popular graphic novel series have had new releases in the past few months, including Wings of Fire, I Survived, Cat Kid Comic Club, Narwhal's School of Awesomeness, and Sunny Makes a Splash. But now I'm going to tell you about some other new juvenile graphic novels that you may not have heard of yet. First up, Stunt Boy in the Meantime, written by Jason Reynolds, illustrated by Raoul III, great for ages 7 to 12. From Newbery Medal honoree and New York Times bestselling author Jason Reynolds comes a hilarious, hopeful, and action-packed middle-grade novel about the greatest young superhero you've never heard of. Portico Reeves' secret identity as Stunt Boy allows him to use his superpower to keep everybody safe, but when his superhero parents start fighting a lot, he feels the responsibility to save them. Besties Work It Out, written by Kayla Miller and Jeffrey Canino, illustrated by Christina Liu, for ages 8 to 12. A fun and fresh graphic novel series spinoff of the New York Times best-selling Cluck books featuring aspiring entrepreneurs Beth and Chandra. When the girls land a lucrative dog-sitting gig, they're sure that fame, fortune, and popularity can't be far behind. But nothing can prepare them for the mishap that throws their business plan and friendship into chaos. City of Dragons, The Awakening Storm, written by Jamal Yogis, illustrated by Vivian Trong, for ages 8 to 12. When Grace moves to Hong Kong with her mom and new stepdad, her biggest concern is making friends at her fancy new boarding school. But when a mysterious old woman gifts her a dragon egg during a field trip, Grace discovers that the wonderful stories of dragons she heard when she was a young girl might actually be real, especially when the egg hatches overnight. The dragon has immense powers that Grace doesn't understand, and that puts them both in danger from mysterious forces intent on abusing the dragon's power. Forever Home, written and illustrated by Jenna Ayub for ages 9 to 12. There's no place like a haunted home. Willow has never had a place she could call home. With two parents in the military, finding a place to make her own has become a total pipe dream. And when the family arrives at their latest stop, the historic Hadley House, Willow encounters something that doesn't help her chances of staying put. Ghosts! Hadley House's spectral occupants have been scaring off would-be residents for decades, and they intend to keep the house to themselves. But Willow's not going to let some nagging spirits force her to move for the millionth time. It's just a matter of convincing Willow's parents that this old house is the one for them, ghosts and all. And finally, Other Boys, written and illustrated by Damian Alexander for ages 10 and up. Damien is the new kid at school, and he has a foolproof plan to avoid the bullying that's plagued him his whole childhood. He's going to stop talking. Starting on the first day of 7th grade, he won't utter a word. If he keeps his mouth shut, the bullies will have nothing to tease him about, right? But Damien's vow of silence doesn't work. His classmates can tell that something's different about him. His family does not look like the kind on TV, and Damien does things that boys aren't supposed to do. Kids have teased him about this his whole life, especially other boys. But if boys can be so cruel, why does Damien have a crush on one? And it's time for our older kids. Here are some great new graphic novels for our young adult readers. First up, Passport, a memoir written and illustrated by Sophia Cluck for ages 12 and up. Young Sophia has lived in so many different countries she can barely keep count. Stationed now with her family in Central America because of her parents' work, Sophia feels displaced as an American living abroad when she has hardly spent any of her life in America. Everything changes when she reads a letter she was never meant to see and uncovers her parents' secret. They are not who they say they are. They are working for the CIA. As Sophia tries to make sense of this news and the web of lies surrounding her, she begins to question everything. The impact this has on Sophia's emerging sense of self and understanding of the world makes for a page-turning exploration of lies and double lives. Hudafru, written and illustrated by Hudafru for ages 12 and up. Huda and her family just moved to Dearborn, Michigan, a small town with a big Muslim population. In her old town, Huda knew exactly who she was. She was the hijabi girl. But in Dearborn, everyone is the hijabi girl. Huda is lost in a sea of hijabis, and she can't rely on her hijab to define her anymore. She has to define herself. She's not the one who knows everything about her religion or the one all the guys like. She's miscellaneous, which makes her feel like no one at all, until she realizes that it'll take finding out who she isn't to figure out who she is. And our last new book today is called Squad, written by Maggie Takuda Hall, illustrated by Lisa Sturl for ages 12 and up. When Becca transfers to a high school in an elite San Francisco suburb, she's worried she's not going to fit in. To her surprise, she's immediately adopted by the most popular girls in school. At first glance, they are perfect, but at a party under a full moon, Becca learns that they also have a big secret. Becca's new friends are werewolves. Their prey? Slimy boys who take advantage of unsuspecting girls. Eager to be accepted, Becca allows her friends to turn her into a werewolf, and finally, for the first time in her life, she feels like she truly belongs. But then things get complicated. As their pact begins to buckle under pressure, their moral high ground gets muddier and muddier, and Becca realizes that she might have feelings for one of her new best friends. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, you can check out our website, www.mcl.org, to search our catalog to find these books. And if you haven't heard, we also have a new app, My MCLSNJ, that you can download and search our catalog, as well as see other things happening at the library. See you next time.